Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Shell Prisons of Syria podcast series. In this episode, the third episode of the series, we will be listening the story of Heba, a beautiful mom of two, a social worker, and a kind human being. Heba and I have been known each other for quite a long time, and we actually have recorded this episode in 2020. So let's start and listen to Heba's story. Heba, thank you for accepting my interview request and thank you for showing that courage to speak about your experience because I'm sure that it's not easy to talk about such experiences. So I really thank you. Heba, can you briefly introduce yourself to us?
Yeah. Hello. My name is Heba. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Damascus, Syria. I was detained twice. The first detained in 2012 and the second is in 2014. I was studied statistics, mathematical statistics, and at the third year I dropped out the university and the regime guys didn't allow me to continue my study. That's about me. I am from Damascus. I take my way in revolution, in Syrian revolution. So my family is not with revolution. So we have two political opinion in my family.
Until what year did you live in Syria? Can you tell us about your life after Syrian revolution has started?
Yeah. After Syrian revolution, I worked in civil work in Damascus and the suburb of Damascus. And it's about food and every aid which people need. And after that, after two detained, I traveled to Turkey at 2015. I came here alone because my family have another situation from revolution. They say that's your way and you did it. So I came here alone and start studying from the beginner. I graduate from education faculty.
I want to ask actually, like you told about your family, and they are, I guess, they are against Syrian revolution, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So that's a really complicated situation. You are a young woman, and your family is not supporting the thing you're giving your life, sacrificing your life. So can you tell us about like how was it? How was this experience?
It's very hard because the family is the first protection that anyone have. And when this first protection is cut down, it's very hard. So you should be brave and you should do hard work to continue in this life. It's not an easy situation, but my family didn't made anything against me. It's just about the opinion and talking and this of situation. There is no action really, and so and now I contact with them. It's a very normal situation. Okay, you have a political opinion, and I have political opinion, and it's all right. I'm your daughter, and you are my family, and it's peace between us.
Yeah, I understand. Let's go for this detaining experience. You told me you has detained twice. Can you tell about this experience? And actually, I wonder your experience in the perspective of a woman. So, as a woman, how was being in these Syrian regime's prisons?
If we detained for revolution, for free, for dignity, and all these values. So when any woman get arrested, so it's very hard because our community and these values in our community, it's not accepted. So it's very hard. But about my experience, I detained twice. The first time, it's about 3 days. In this hard experience, I faced maybe verbal harassment. Yeah, guys says many things underline, and it's not accepted in any community. There's a very hit, and there's electric tools. The bodyguards use it normally, but in my detained, they use it on us for torture. And it's just 3 days, but it was very difficult because we can't sleep. All this 3 day, I listened to Syrian guys' voices, and there is a torture, very torture outside my prison. Yeah. So it was very difficult. I think there is many women face this experience and see a lot of torture, and maybe torture against other and against us, ourselves. So there is no logic in anything inside the prison. About the second detained I faced, and at that time I be diabetes patient, so it's 1 month almost, and all this month I didn't can get my medicine. So all this month I think, okay, when I will die, because my situation is very complicated and I have to get my medicine, and there is no medicine inside there. And when you ask to get a medicine, you should go to a manager of prison, and he is very bad person, and he has these horrible eyes, and he says many things about harassment and everything like that. So at that time I prefer to not ask about medicine. Okay, I am patient and I don't need this medicine from this guy. And after, when I released from this detain, I get 2 operation in my eyes, just for from this bad situation it was inside the prison.
Can you tell about a bit from your friends and maybe your relatives? Because you're working in the civil society in the Syrian revolution, I guess most of your friends has been detained at least once. Is there any one important moment about your friends detained?
The most hard minute, it's when you think about one of your friends and choose one from them. I can't do that because all my friends in detainees in prison, maybe we know them alive or not. All of them have families, have them families, and with them, even when regime said they are died. With them, all of them, we still have this hope to wait them and to release them. And all the time we will say, release them. About my friend, about my neighbors, about my colleague, all of them are arrested, and I remembered then, maybe girls, maybe boys, maybe there is children, there is young, so there is many people inside, and I am sure that there is many torture, there is many hitting, and everything. Maybe not anyone can imagine it. So I can't talk about a one person. I will talk about all, and we as a detainees who release, we think we are them families.
Okay, thank you for your answer. We are going towards the end of the interview, and I want to ask a last question, and which is, you said you're now living in Turkey and you studied and you're graduated. You spent 4 years or something as a refugee, and you have lots of refugee friends. Yeah, that's it. So in your opinion, how are the life standards of refugees in Turkey? What do they live? And about racism, maybe you want to say something?
Yeah, I will say something about maybe especially detainees and releasing detainees, and generally about refugees. We are like Syrian people, have a good guys and bad guys. Sometimes we faced a hard work in maybe documentation, in Turkey because there is almost refugees leave everything and run away from the regime and bombs and a very hard situation or weapon or anything. So about the people around me, every time we talk about our situation in Turkey, we are very blessed, we are very happy, we are in safe, and the important thing because we run away from Syria to get safe, to be in safe place. We are here in Turkey like this safe situation, but there is sometimes a documentation. It's very hard to get it. Maybe it's about traveling about between the states. It's before Corona, COVID-19, but it's hard moving. So I think maybe I will say about I will talk about this situation, this documentation. It's يعني every Syrian person allowed to get this documentation, but sometimes some states are closed, and sometimes maybe my friend from Detained, from they released from Detained, and they come to here with zero things, and it's very difficult to start the life from zero. So that's our difficulties we face. This in Turkey. It's been in every country, and it's just in Turkey. But we prefer to be more easily.
Thank you so much. It was a really eye-opening kind of interview for us. Thank you again for your time, Heba.
Thank you, Edith. Thank you. Thank you so much.